What is up, everybody? Today we are going to be doing my top 10 favorite Ridley Scott movies. Uh, this is ranked from my least favorite to my most favorite, only movies of his that I have seen and not ones that I have not. But it's only my personal preference. It's not like based on like fact or box office or anything like that. But starting off at number 10, we have Robin Hood. I was fully going into this movie expecting it to not be good at all. It was actually really, really good. Uh, Ridley Scott is really good at making those big, huge, epic, battle scenes. And I do like this, bow and arrow, swords type of warfare movies. And this one is definitely one of the better ones. Russell Crowe brings it as well. It's a different take than other Robin Hood movies on his character. And because I grew up loving Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner. That was like the best Robin Hood, and it still is. But this is definitely a close second, just because it's a more serious tone and goes more into his military background and things like that. But definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen before. Then we have Kingdom of Heaven. Again, I love these medieval or ancient war movies, whatever you want to call them. This takes place during the Crusades. Orlando Bloom, Eva Green, and Liam Neeson did great. So did Jeremy Irons. Definitely worth checking out. Not as good as like a Troy or an Alexander or a Gladiator or something like that. But it's still, if you're a fan of these movies, it's not done cheaply at all. So it looks really good on screen. I'd like to see this one on 4K. Then we have Prometheus. A lot of people seem to hate on this movie only because it didn't focus on the alien it created on the race, or focus on the race that created the aliens. I much would have rather seen Prometheus 2 versus Alien Covenant to see more about the engineers and where Ridley Scott was wanting to go, not necessarily where the studio was wanting to go with this. But I don't know why people hated on it. I thought it was just as good as Alien. Then next we have Hannibal. This is my favorite of the Hannibal trilogy, it's 4 movies with Hannibal Rising, but I preferred this even over The Silence of the Lambs, which a lot of people consider to be a classic, and I can see why it would be. But I thought this was a lot scarier, actually having Hannibal himself out on the loose. Julianne Moore, I preferred her over Jodie Foster, to be honest. And Ray Liotta was great in this movie as well. But yeah, just a lot scarier than Silence of the Lambs, in my opinion. Then we have American Gangster. Denzel Washington really didn't work with Ridley Scott a whole lot. He worked a lot more with his brother. But him and Russell Crowe deliver in this movie. Powerful movie. Didn't try to be anything it wasn't. I have not seen Irishman or other newer type modern mobster movies besides maybe Gangster Squad. But that's not this type of movie. But yeah, definitely up there as far as one of these types of movies is concerned. Even comparing it to like Casino and things like that. Just more of a different take on it. Then we have The Martian. I really liked this movie. It was done really well. Probably the closest space travel movie as far as being one of my favorites. Right underneath Interstellar. Just because the concept of being trapped on a planet and having to try to survive and being honest about what he kind of did have and didn't have and how he was trying to accomplish things. I liked how they went about that. The cast was amazing. The script was great. So I really have no complaints about this movie. Matt Damon delivers. Then we have G.I. Jane. This one was not a super high budget movie like Ridley Scott normally makes. This would have been more of a movie that his brother probably would have made. But yeah, this was a really good story. Viggo Mortensen was great, and so was Demi Moore. I watched this from time to time over and over again. Definitely a classic, worth checking out if you haven't seen it. I'm not a huge Demi Moore fan either, but she is great in this movie. And then next, of course, we have Alien. You know, you can't have a Ridley Scott list without having Alien on it. Classic sci-fi horror movie. You know, it kind of goes up and down with this series. You know, Alien Covenant was horrible. Was nowhere near this one. This one was good. This was probably my, I'd say, second favorite. Yeah, probably maybe second favorite in the series. Maybe third. I preferred Aliens. But as a original origin movie, this is fantastic. Then we have Gladiator. Can never go wrong with some Gladiator. I haven't seen the second one, so don't know if it's any good or not. I've heard mixed reviews. One of my friends was saying it was kind of anticlimactic, so I did pre-order it on 4K, so we'll see if I'm going to be disappointed or not. Hopefully I'm not, because I do like these types of movies. I mean, it looks great as far as the trailer goes, but they always show the best parts in the trailer. But I did like Joaquin Phoenix in this movie as well. Did a fantastic job. And then lastly, my number one is Black Hawk Down by a mile. This movie was so intense. It was so huge in scope, so many actors, that it is just super fun to watch, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat through the whole thing. The soundtrack was great as well. I mean, it's hard to find anything bad about this movie. I'm surprised that Ridley Scott directed this movie and not Tony Scott. Not that I think Tony Scott probably would have made it almost the exact same way. And the fact that Ridley Scott is talented enough to make it look exactly like his brother probably directed this movie is kudos to him on his talent there. But that does it for this list. I'd like to hear your comments on where you think movies should be on this list and your opinions. But otherwise, that does it for this video. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Your support is much appreciated. I am also over on Letterboxd. The link to that is in the profile description of this channel. Otherwise, until next time, guys.